Welcome into episode 23 of Breaker Banter. My name's Devin Dobek, live here at the Hard Rock Cafe in Biloxi as we get ready to kick off another episode. Colton Wiacek joins the panel today. We'll be very excited to discuss his hockey journey and turning pro last season with the Dashers Hockey Club before ending up here in Biloxi. But last weekend for the Breakers, a tough one. They scored first in both games, a 5-3 loss on Friday night against the Scarecrows and a 6-2 loss on Saturday night. Couple competitive games. There was 4 fights last weekend, so physical play is going to be a huge point of emphasis going forward. Topeka is on tap once again this upcoming Friday and Saturday, 7 o'clock for both those games on January 9th and 10th. Looking forward to it. If you haven't gotten a chance to check out our specialty Mardi Gras jersey, I seriously suggest you do. It's on our social media at Biloxi Breakers Pro Hockey. Those are on pre-sale until January 13th at 5 o'clock. So if you want to have yours for the game on February 12th and 13th when the Breakers are wearing them, get your pre-order in now, and you'll also have it in time for Mardi Gras season, which has already begun, I just learned. So happy Mardi Gras to everybody. But that just about wraps us up for our intro. We're going to bring Colton on and get into the meat and potatoes of our show in a moment right here on Breaker Banter.
Every new Hyundai from Matt Bowers comes with Matt's lifetime warranty included. That's in addition to Hyundai's America's Best Warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and Hyundai Owner Assurance. You get both warranties, making a new Hyundai from Matt Bowers an excellent value. Come visit us today during the Getaway Sales event at our new showroom just off Lorraine Road north of I-10 in Gulfport.
Shop smart, buy local. Matt Bowers Hyundai, Gulfport.
Back here, Devin Dobek, joined by Colton Wiacek of the Biloxi Breakers, defenseman number 2. Colt, welcome to the show. Happy to have you along.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Well, Colt, a Canadian native yourself, just like what it feels like everyone else on this Breakers team. But growing up in St. Thomas, Ontario, I always kick it off with this. Who were your early mentors and who grew your love for the game from a young age?
Honestly, my dad right away. As soon as I could walk, he had me in skates. And then from there, you always have to shout the hometown hero, Joe Thornton. The rink at home now is named after him, one of the two. And other than that, just the classic Canadians. Sidney Crosby is huge. Drew Doughty, that's always made me want to be a defenseman. And then from there, obviously, I play forward and D at this point, but just Crosby, Joe, and Drew, those are the main 3 for me.
So you play in Joe Thornton's rink. Is it just his namesake, or has he been around there a lot? Take us through that a little bit more.
Yeah, Joe's home every summer. I used to train with him here and there, like at the gym. But no, he's always, like every summer he's home, and now being retired, what you see of him on the social media and all over, he's on Joe time. He kind of just does whatever he feels like when he's here and there. They have the Hockey Hall of Fame introduction too. He's been home a lot recently, I've seen, but like he's always there. He's always helping out in the community. He's dumped quite a bit of money in the St. Thomas minor hockey, and then with that, they named the rink after him, obviously. But he's just huge of hometown community.
So Joe Thornton, it's pretty safe to say that along with those big Canadian names, those might have been guys you looked up to growing up. But did you have a favorite NHL team, Cole, growing up?
Yeah, it's growing up, I was huge with LA Kings, and I've shifted more to the Oilers about high school time, just more, and that's not even just bandwagon there because they were pretty brutal, but it's a love-hate relationship with them. It's with the cup runs past couple of years and not finishing the deal, but no, I still love my Oilers, but...
Growing up, we'll shift gears a little bit. Outside of hockey, did you have any other hobbies or interests? I know you're a big soccer player, definitely, so tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, just with the hockey season being done in the summers, growing up, my parents were like, well, what are we going to do with this kid? He's just full energy. We need him out of the house. So my mom's one friend, she ran a Timbits team for her son. And it was a year older than I was before I was even allowed to be put in soccer. But I've always just been a bigger kid. So, I'll just throw him in the soccer. Year above, why not? And then that turned into travel soccer, played high school. And I still play club for my hometown. We just won our league and the championship, actually.
Wow.
over
Well,
the summer.
congratulations.
You wouldn't think a guy of my figure would be much of a soccer player anymore, but we get the job done.
Still getting it done. And when did you realize that hockey was what you wanted to pursue at a higher level? What stage in your career, which we'll talk more about, but was there a moment you could put your finger on and say, this is when I realized I wanted to be a professional hockey player?
It's honestly every hockey player growing up, their dream is always NHL. But even from every AAA team I played for, like, growing up, I didn't make my local AAA team. I made one an hour away, and God bless my parents for making the drives every weekend, every night for practice for that. But I did that, and then my goal is, okay, I want to make it to my local team. That's the better team. I want to be there. Then from that, I want to play for the best junior team. And if I made one junior team and I did good there, I want to just pursue higher and higher and higher. And that really just led me to getting here.
So your experience playing U15 to U18 back in Canada, closer to home, could you have seen yourself taking those next steps from that level? You played U15, 16, and 18, all well within the same region. Did you have a feeling that you were going to take your junior career to the next level there, or was it kind of just a play and then by how it's going, then you'll make that determination?
Yeah, just with the whole, like, Ontario, I was in the OHL draft system, and even with not being drafted, I still ended up skating and being a part of the Starting to Sting for their main camp back in, 2018, I believe. I can't say it makes me feel old being 23, but the years catch up pretty quick. But
yeah, no, you're not kidding. I was talking with Trey Fisher the other day, and we were both saying, like, wow, like 24, 25 years old, still feel a little like 21, 22 years of age. But it's crazy how time does fly, especially in the hockey world. But Colton, let's shift gears here. 2019-2020, you play 63 games back in your hometown, St. Thomas, Ontario, with the Stars of the GOJHL. 10 goals, 8 assists, 48 penalty minutes there. What goals did you have for yourself heading into this season of juniors?
honestly, I was just any 16, 17, 18-year-old. Just being able to be pretty much the only local guy playing for my hometown junior team was pretty special for me. And back then, it was just the same way I play now, just keeping it simple, working hard. But with that, it was just always fun just being able to play in front of my family almost every game, having my buddies actually able to come and watch games where I love them to death, but I don't think many of my buddies are driving almost 20 hours down here to watch a game, and I don't blame them. But it was definitely a real cool experience just being able to play in front of my hometown and my own community.
So after your time in St. Thomas, you played 12 games, 4 points for the Espanola Express, and then the coronavirus hits. So do you remember the day that you found out the season would be no longer, and what was your reaction to just everything going on at the time?
Yeah, that was it was a year for sure. Living up in Espanola is a very small town in northern Ontario, but really up there we knew it was a questionable year. They took hitting away. We had to wear a full face cover because apparently that little inch of plastic above your mouth was going to stop the coronavirus spreading on the ice, but we're sitting a foot beside each other in the locker room because that's going to make a difference. But
it is crazy to see just how everything was taken at the surface back during those crazy unprecedented times. I mean, nobody knew any better, but looking back now, can't believe it's been 5, almost 6 years, and it's like, yeah, maybe we didn't have to go to those certain extremes, but especially in the hockey world. I mean, having a mask when you're trying to skate, I can't speak too much from experience, but can't imagine that's too fun.
It wasn't, and it didn't help. I even had my busted nose back then and couldn't breathe out of my nose, so the extra layer over the mouth did not help me at all, but
made things a little bit interesting. But during the pandemic, what did you do to stay in shape, to stay ready for the next hockey season?
just push-ups and sit-ups, the most you can do, and our Ontario lockdowns were pretty ruthless.
Pretty intense.
You leave your house, someone calls the cops on you, you're in big trouble. It's that serious in my part of Ontario, but then again, it's just you do what you can if you're a little Costco weight set and just doing as much as you can.
Fair enough. So after that, we get out of COVID. The next 2 seasons, you become an assistant captain, and then in your final season, the captain for the Potomac Patriots and the USPHL Premier League. 79 games played for them. You had 3 goals, 24 assists. What made the decision feel comfortable for you to move to the United States, to take a leap of faith, and to try and further your career in a new league that you hadn't had a chance to play in yet after COVID?
It was a big step, but it definitely, like, the coaches, Alex Gross, Josh Gratton, also shout out both of them, and Gratz, both exceptional careers. Gratz, ex-NHL player, KHL, he's been all over, and Gross had a great college career. But no, I made the jump down there because we still had a bit of lockdowns in Canada, so I'm like, I'm not going through another 12, 15 game season.
Yeah.
And luckily that year back home they got to play a full season, but I figured I'd come down, play down here in the States, and possibly get college offers, all that. But then it was just another new experience. It's a big thing for me where you can only play the game for so long, and I still want to enjoy every moment of it. And then a new country, new state, new experience. I was all for it.
So I also mentioned you were an assistant captain before becoming the captain there in Potomac. How did it feel to be looked at as a leader? What did you bring to the table for those organizations that they looked at you and said, this is the guy we want steering the ship, and why?
I think it's just more the calmness and like just not assertive in the way where they look at me, it's like, oh, that guy's a prick, but like enough for the guys will respect me, they'll listen. And it's just the type of person I try and aim to be. It's the best person, just always there for everyone I can. And I never went there being like, I want to be the captain, I need this, I need that. It's just more, I tried to help everyone, because if I help them, they help me. It makes the team better, it makes everyone stronger as a team. And it's, end of the day, the letter's not that big of a deal, in my opinion, where it's, if you're wearing a C on a losing team, it's the same as if you're wearing a C on a winning team. Mm-hmm. It's just a letter.
So with that in mind, we'll flash now to 23-24. You join the OSHL, play with the Tillsonburg Thunder, once again back closer to home. What went into your decision? So you finish your junior career, and then you go back to St. Thomas or in that area to play senior. How did you rationalize that decision before eventually making the jump to become a professional?
Yeah, that was more of a, I was never bad in school, but I just never really loved sitting in a classroom and sitting there for hours. It just drives me crazy. So back home, I started a plumbing apprenticeship, and I figured, well, if I'm doing this, I'm close to home. They have senior, might as well keep living the dream and play a couple games while I'm doing it. But
that's what I always say. I love it.
That kind of just led to, I'm like, hey, like, this is pretty fun. Like, I don't think I want to be done doing this yet. And then that's also kind of figure, like, you know what? I was very fortunate, too, because I played with a lot of ex-pro. I played with a guy who played in the Dell, the Coast, high-end college, high-end university, Canadian-American, guys who played OHL, guys who played AHL. Like, just hearing their stories, seeing how they play it just really motivated me. Like, you know what? Senior hockey, it's always going to be there. When I'm done playing, I can always go back and do that. But it made me really think, like, you know what? I still want to take another crack at going pro.
And in 2024-25, you signed pro with the Dashers Hockey Club. Take us through the emotions, signing your first contract as a professional and reporting to Danville, and just everything that went into those first few weeks leading up to the season.
Yeah, that was me and my agent advisor. We reached out to every Fed, SP, Coast team I could even contact, and then AJ Tesserero got back to us saying, why not come out for our pre-main camp? I'm like, you know what, why not? It's a step in the door. Obviously, I didn't have the resume to really just get me on a roster, so I had to go show what I had, but just went out there, did what I could, showed them that I can play at the level, and I was one of the two or three guys from that camp actually signed with the team in Danville there.
Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, I was there as well, so we kind of entered the FPHL together. Me, of course, doing the broadcasting for them, but you had a roller coaster of a season in Danville. We've talked about that a little bit on previous episodes, or at least the season that the Dashers had, but you wound up playing 38 games for them across 2 stints, 3 head coaches. The team only had 3 wins, and you had your season ended a little short with an injury towards the end of it. Taking a look back at that turbulent year and everything that went on, just take us through your raw emotions and what you're going through in the moment and how it made you want to come back and give it another chance this season.
It was definitely a grind. The losing many games was definitely taking a toll. All the change, having a different line mate almost every other week was something else. That's nothing I've ever experienced, but just getting the taste of pro hockey, even going to every different rink. We're going to Binghamton. You're playing in front of 6,000-7,000 people a night, and it just that like maybe just getting the taste of that. It's like, you know what, that like I really love the game. I love what it has to offer for the players, fans, staff, everyone. It's just so inclusive, and just made me even like the love for the game always grows and grows and grows. But that just really sold it for me.
Quick little full world moment that Colton and I experienced together. So basically, last season, when you came back to the Dashers for your second stint, we were down in Biloxi taking on the Mississippi Seawolves, and that is one of the games in which you suffered a lower body injury, which would go on to end your season, but we didn't know at the time. So with the game off due to your injury, you came up and joined me on the broadcast and did color commentary, and were one of my first color commentators in the FPHL. So we were both in Biloxi, sitting in the same press box I am now, and now here we are in Biloxi doing it again on our own podcast. So pretty cool how things can come full circle in the hockey world. Love having moments like that. But your biggest takeaway from your first pro season, I know you mentioned it was nice to have a taste of the culture and everything going on as a pro, but looking back, what was one thing that really bettered you for this season?
Honestly, the main things was just I was able and fortunate to live with two very veteran guys for their time there, Kim Yettinen and Lester Brown, where I learned so much about being a professional and learning and playing the professional style of game, where there's always a difference between junior hockey, college hockey, and pro hockey, where it's just the difference of playing boys and men sort of thing. And it's just being more patient with the puck and then being tougher around the puck and like standing up for yourself and every small thing like that, where I really learned a lot from those two. And even being around guys like Justin Brosson, like I think he's still top 3 in the league points all time.
I think he's currently sitting fourth. But
yeah.
I think Johnny Ruiz is nipping at his heels last I checked.
But no, even just being there, like around legends like that in the league and just being able to learn from them is just huge.
Yeah, Braz was pretty cool to learn from as well myself. But so heading into this season, you signed with the Twin City Thunderbirds in the offseason for training camp. Your old pal Lester, who was running the show in Indiana at the time, trades for you. You become a Sentinel and spend 10 games there. Take us briefly through that experience playing with now your second team. And, of course, we know they had a very interesting start to the season. They've really gotten it going under Everett Thompson's leadership now. But take us through those first 10 games and basically what was going on.
Yeah,
as
it
far
was
as
just
the hockey and things.
As far as the hockey goes, it's the same thing as Danville. You're getting a new club. It's a brand new set of guys where most of them never played together. And most teams in this league, you're going to have your core guys coming back every year. You're bringing in new pieces, but they're starting from scratch. And obviously, you're going to have you're going to need some training wheels going there. But it's hard to really get her going right off the bat when you have a group of 18, 19, 20 guys who are still learning to play together, learning a new system, new town, new everything. And I'm happy for all the guys there that they have turned it around. That's huge for them, because end of the day, you still hope for the best for your old teammates and everything, and there's no ill will, no bad blood there. Just wasn't the opportunity and spot for me, and that's the same thing where maybe like just simple as the idea of like maybe a flower won't grow as much in one spot compared to a different spot.
Right. And so I was fortunate enough, I believe we're into November of this year now, going in chronological order. And Coach Pence was nice enough to let me give you the call and say that we can make you a breaker, which was pretty special after spending last season together, to be able to give you a call and say, hey, we'd love to give you a shot and come down here. Take us through your emotions when you realized you're going to be coming down to Biloxi and signing with another team.
I was happy it wasn't the end of the road for this season for me. It was definitely, I think it was around 4 or 5 o'clock, and I was already planning on leaving town that night anyways. But just getting the call, I'm like, well, that's another 11-hour drive coming up for me. But no, I was pretty fired up. I literally so excited. I packed up and started driving down that night. I didn't care about the time or what it was. I just packed up and left.
Yeah, you got to love it. When you get so excited for something, you get that tunnel vision for it. But moving on here through your time with the Breakers. So how would you describe your role on this team? We've seen you at forward, we've seen you defense, we've seen you fight, we've seen you score points. How would you put your finger on the role that you have, and how does it positively impact the team?
At this point, when I first came down, it was more, not a goon per se, but just more protect the guys, play simple, hard D, and that kind of evolved into being a bit of a Swiss Army knife of we need this done, go do it. We need points, go get points. We need a fight, go fight. Oh, sorry. But, yeah, that kind of turned in, we need to play forward tonight. Okay, mid-game playing forward. Go back on D for a few shifts. All right, kind of whatever you need, I have no problem doing. Just happy to help out wherever I can.
Yeah, you made your presence felt pretty soon when you jumped into that line brawl with your new teammates and took out a couple of the captain Tyler Larwood's teeth in Baton Rouge. I mean, holy cow, what a roller coaster of emotions it must be within a fight. But I mean, sticking up for your teammates, that had to be pretty cool. You've had to do it a couple times here, and what do you make of the physical side of play, like sticking up for your teammates by dropping the gloves? What impact do you make on them?
I think for teammates wise, I hope it gets them fired up, gets them going, maybe turns the tide of the game for the shift of momentum. And I also just want them to know that it doesn't matter who it is. Like, say the biggest guy on their team hits one of our guys from behind, I'm gonna grab him and give him some business there. But it's just more. I want them to know that I'm always gonna have her back. It doesn't matter who on our team gets hit or whatever happens. If I can step in and be a provider and be some sort of protection or just anything for that, that's one thing I pride myself on.
Then finally, all of your trench work was rewarded. You scored your first professional goal, coming up close to your 60th professional game. Take us through that. You score your first goal on the road in Monroe. Floor is yours.
Yeah, for that one, it was a forward game for me, but it was just the same thing I said earlier, of just a simple style of hockey. I just took it around the net and just simple cycle. And honestly, I'd give 80% of the credit of that goal for Infantino. If he didn't give me that pass from behind the net, it's no shot I was going to bury it because I wouldn't have got the pass. But it was just really good heads-up play from him. Hit me right on the tape, and it was just an easy tap-in from there.
Shifting now into the area. So you've played in Danville, Illinois. You've played in Columbus, Indiana. You've played up in Canada. Now you find yourself down in a warm spot in Biloxi. I think one of the first things you did was spend a day at the beach when you got down here, from whatever cold place you're at. But take us through some of the things that you like to do around town or places to see, eat.
Really, I'm just enjoying not having ice storms and a couple feet of snow every day. That's a pretty big one for me. But no, I've been enjoying just hanging out by the pool. Last night, me, Pies, and Decky went out for an Italian restaurant. Got some pizza, chicken parm Sam's, all that stuff, and just experiencing the different delicacies, new places. Checked out a few of the casinos because I've never seen anything like this in my life, having
pretty incredible.
20 casinos side by side by side. But having the beach here, it's a really new, cool experience for me.
So you talked about a couple of your teammates, but I want to talk about the coaches before we let you go. What has it been like playing for Charlie Pence Jr., playing for Brett Riley here in Biloxi?
No, it's really cool. It's both of them have been super welcoming, super nice to me. And obviously it's after that fight there, the line brawl, and Baton Rouge there, sorry. There was no forcing me of you're hurt, just play it through. It was like, oh, you're hurt, you're messed up, heal up, get back better, we want you 100%, then you can go back out. There's been no anything bad. They've been super positive, super great, and they're just super supportive. And the big thing too, it's super cool having Brett, the assistant coach, even also being our head strength, conditioning, everything, where some of the stuff he's teaching us, and we even do for the game, making sure all our muscles are ready, having everything's prepared, and everything's firing right. I've never seen that. Mm-hmm. It's something new, and it's just really cool to experience.
That's awesome. Well, Colt, I always leave it with the player. A message to the fans before we officially sign off on your segment here.
Just stick with us. It's the same thing I said before. There's a lot of people here new to the team, new to everything, and I can see the positives. I hope you guys can too. And we still have half a season left, and I was doing the math on the way here. If we get 5 wins coming up soon, that's almost 15 points there. Like it's a big swing, and that catches us pretty close to 4th place just with that, I'm pretty sure.
All right, so you heard it here. Keep the faith, hang on, we will get there shortly. But Colton, so nice to have you join me here, and I'll be right back to wrap up another episode of Breaker Banter.
The Mississippi Gulf Coast is where community and teamwork come together, on and off the ice. Foshee Residential is proud to support the Biloxi Breakers as they bring the heat to the rink this season. Foshee Residential manages 3 unique apartment communities along the coast, each offering modern finishes, resort-style amenities, and a location that puts coastal living right at your doorstep. Ready to find your community? Visit FosheeResidential.com/Biloxi Breakers for more information.
A huge thank you to Colton Wiacek for joining me on the panel. Really great interview from him. Awesome to see his hockey journey, which I've gotten to follow so closely over the past 2 seasons, and it's been pretty cool to be able to share a couple of his cool career moments alongside him and be on the call for those. So awesome to catch up with Colt, and happy to have him down in Biloxi on the back end. But as I mentioned, coming up, 2 games against the Topeka Scarecrows. That will be January 9th and January 10th, 7 o'clock puck drop inside the Coast Coliseum. And one last reminder, if you haven't had a chance to check out our specialty Mardi Gras jerseys, next week when I do the show, it'll have been too late. You will have missed the pre-sale, so get your Mardi Gras jerseys now. They'll be in before February 12th when the boys will be wearing them, and then they'll eventually be auctioned off after the game on February 13th in the same fashion that we always do. But they are pretty cool jerseys. It says Crew of Breakers with the crest and the B all over it. It's a black base, green, purple, yellow, everything you could ask for from a Mardi Gras jersey. So really cool and a good gift idea as well. But Topeka for 2, and then the Monroe Moccasins coming up for 2 more. That'll be a Thursday-Friday split the following week. So a lot to look forward to coming up here in Biloxi. We need you guys all in the stadium. Thanks to everybody who came out to support us against Topeka last weekend. I'll just about wrap it up here. My name's Devin Dobek. Thanks so much again for tuning in to episode 23 of Breaker Banter.